me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! No doubt about it. I gotta get another hat.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Well, Rocky and Bullwinkle reached the Pottsylvanian border with the mooseberry bush still intact. But now it seemed that they were going to be stopped just inches short of their goal. For when their friends, the Moon Men, slipped across the border without proper papers, the Pottsylvanian sentry became so enraged that he raised his weapon and pointed it at our heroes.
Hey, now, that thing might be loaded.
Might be. Is loaded.
Stand back, Rocky. I'll protect you. Oh, they got me. Goodbye, Rocky.
Where you going?
I'm going west. Where do you think?
Yeah, but you weren't hurt.
I'm not?
No, look.
Sure enough, on the other side of the border stood Cloyd, the Moon Man, with his trusty scrooch gun.
Well, somebody got hit.
Sure, look.
It's the sentry. He's been scrooched. Froze solid.
Yep.
Come on, Rocky.
What about Vladimir here?
Oh, he'll be all right as soon as he gets unscrewed.
Well, how long will that be?
About 90 minutes. Cloyd, that says years. Oh, so it does. Well, that's certainly one on me.
Yeah, but what do we do with Vladimir?
Just stand him up. Who's going to notice whether a sentry is scrooched or not?
Sure enough, Vladimir remained motionless at his post from that moment on, and he was very happy. Tourists came to have their pictures taken with him. He was written up in Crime, a Pottsylvanian weekly news magazine, and he served as a model for every sentry in the Pottsylvanian army. Eventually, he was promoted to general, retired, and spent his declining years in his old hometown where he became known as the pigeon's best friend. Yes, there was no doubt Vladimir was for the birds. But back to our story.
About time, too.
Well, anyway, we're out of Pottsylvania with a mooseberry bush.
Yeah, let's get it back to the government right away.
Hey, look down there. A ship.
And it's headed our way.
But how are we going to get to it?
You forget, Rocky, we can just fade out here and fade in again down on the ship. Like this. Darn, missed it.
Fortunately, Cloyd's aim was better than Gidney's, and he was able to persuade the captain of the small freighter to pick up our heroes. A short while later, the good ship was steaming across the sea toward America.
Well, Bullwinkle, we're going home at last.
I wish we were.
But you are, Gidney.
Back to the moon? You're giving us the bush?
You can't do that, Rock. This is government property.
Don't worry, Bullwinkle. I'm not going to give him the bush.
Then how the ding-dong you gonna get him home? Moonwise, that is.
Look, Bullwinkle. Why does the government want a secret rocket fuel?
So's we can send a American to the moon.
Right. So my plan is obvious.
Well, certainly it's obvious, but what is it?
Simple. We'll make Americans out of Gidney and Cloyd.
And send them to the moon. Well, great. But how do we make Americans out of them? Paint them red, white, and blue?
Nope. I think I got a better way.
Rocky wouldn't have been so optimistic if he had known what was going on at that moment in a press meeting on Capitol Hill.
Just what does your new bill mean, Senator?
Well, you see, right now it's entirely too easy to become an American. This bill's gonna make it tougher.
What do you mean it's easy, Senator?
Well, all you got to do is be born here. This large loophole has got to be plugged up.
Well, how will this new proposal affect Rocky's plans for the Moon Men? Don't miss our next episode, The Washington Whirl, or Rocky Off the Record.
And now it's time...
Time for that jolly juggler, Bullwinkle.
Oh, dear.
3 at once. 1, 2...
And now here's a feature you're sure to like.
Pardon me, Sonny, but can you tell me where I can find that eminent philosopher, Aesop?
Well, what's up, Dad? Going to a Halloween party?
Huh?
I said, what's up, Dad?
Never mind, Junior. I was hoping you wouldn't recognize me.
I'd know you anywhere, Pop.
Well, the reason for this disguise was to illustrate today's parable. To wit, appearances often are deceiving. Clever?
Clever.
Yeah, well, this brings to mind the fable of the wolf in sheep's clothing. In the forest lived Al Wolf. He was a husband-type wolf. He happened to have a wife-type wolf, and they were expecting, or rather she was, a baby-type wolf.
Anything I can get you there? Like, pickles? Chocolate-covered sesame seeds?
I ain't in the mood for none of those things, Al.
Well, you must have a craving for something.
Well, if you must know, I have an urge irresistible for a roast lamb.
Anxious to obey her slightest whim, Al Wolf adjourned to the nearest butcher shop.
Okay, what'll it be?
Let me have a leg of lamb to go.
Sorry, sir, we're fresh out of lamb. How about some bologna?
Wife wants lamb.
In that case, try the serve-yourself machine over there.
They got lamb in there?
Yeah, they got everything. What'd you get?
Package of cigarettes.
Tough luck. Must be a short in the machine. I tell you what, I'll trade you the cigarettes for the bologna.
Look, my wife wants... How about that?
5 minutes later, the wolf was back home.
This is lamb?
That's what it says. Lamb.
You know what this says?
Rolling pin.
Right. You give me the lamb, I'll give you the rolling pin. I said lamb, and I mean lamb.
Al Wolf decided to eliminate the middleman and go to the basic product itself. Unfortunately, said basic product had a basic element of danger.
Wouldn't you know to be a sheepdog guarding them sheeps? Hey. Oh, well, maybe he'll see things my way. Pardon me, sir.
Having tried the honest method, he resorted to the dishonest method.
Lucky, lucky, lucky! Step right up here and win yourself a fortune. Around and round she goes, and where she stops, only I know.
What's the big idea, Wolf?
The big idea, Rover, is this. So you pick a number, I spin a wheel. Your number comes up, you got to shoot me. Again, your number don't come up, I win a sheep.
Okay, 2,369.
That the number you want?
That's it.
Look, Spot, the wheel only goes as high as 100.
2,369.
Yeah, that's what I like. Faith. Well, here she goes. Ever had the feeling you was in the wrong business?
Most wolves are persistent, and this one was no exception. He decided to tunnel his way into the center of the flock and make off with a lamb.
Well, I guess I outwolfed them this time. A sheep! A sheep! I finally got it. A mistake here. This ain't no sheep, it's a doll. Sounds like this doll swallowed a clock. Hey, what do you know, an alarm clock? And it's even got a second hand.
This wolf was long on persistency, although short on other commodities.
There must be some way of getting the sheep. But as long as I look like a wolf, that sheepdog ain't gonna...
And suddenly a bold and daring plan took shape. Moments later, high atop a craggy cliff, what appeared to be a lost lamb was pitifully bleating for help. Needless to say, the sheepdog wasted not a second in effecting a timely rescue. The errant lamb was returned to the flock.
Hot dog! Or should I say hot lamb?
However, before he could strike...
Okay, George, if we're gonna shear these sheep, we better get started. And we'll start with this one.
Hey, wait a minute. You guys are making a faux pas. See, I'm a sheep in wolf's clothing. I'm a... Yow!
I thought you was just gonna get a trim.
This ain't no haircut, Myrna, honey. You see what this is sheer bad luck. It all began...
Where's the lamb, Albert?
This sheepdog, was a real nemesis, so let me tell you.
The lamb, Albert!
I'll bring you some chocolate-covered pickles, dill.
Thus, Al Wolf was forced to take it on the lamb instead of dining on one. Tragic, no?
A real tearjerker, Pop.
But at least we have a moral somewhere. And now, what did I do with it? I had it with me when I left.
How's this? Always be alert, whether awake or a sheep. Good?
Yeah, not bad, Junior. Not bad at all.
me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like. And now for all you intellectuals, the ones who hid their blocks in knowledge, here he is, Mr. Know-It-All.
Greetings, blockheads. Today's dissipation is entitled How to Turn a Beastly Failure into a Monstrous Success. Suppose one day you are fooling around with your junior chemistry set and you advertently drop a little H2SO4 into your CIO. No, you got a monster on your hands. Mad scientists have had this trouble for years. Llewellyn, show the folks there's a little good in everything. To take one's place in society, a monster must be self-supporting, like suspenders, or getting a job. Well, goodbye, monster. Do a good day's work. 5 o'clock. Here he comes. How did the day go, monster? What's this, an example of your work? Why didn't you tell me you were working for a bomb company? Last and certainly most least, you must overcome the monster-like tendency not to share. That is why we are up in this plane. To make it realistic, we shall develop motor trouble. As you see, you are the only one with a parachute. Now, the civilized monster knows the meaning of share and share alike. So, share the parachute with me. And hurry. Well, I must say, he gave me the biggest half. And so, in conclusion, you can see the monster can be trained to take his place in the sun.
But what are you going to do with him, Mr. Know-It-All?
What do you mean, what am I going to do with him? Happy birthday, Rocky!
And now...
Hey, Rocky! Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
But that trick never worked.
This time for sure. Presto! Well, I'm getting close.
And now it's time for another special feature.
Sunset, the time of day when most Canadians bring home the bacon. And one Canadian brings home the ham. The Canadian is Dudley Do-Right, ace do-gooder of the mounted police. The ham, and he's usually boiled, is that arch-villain and scourge of 2 continents, Snidely Whiplash. Each day at sundown, Dudley brings Whiplash into the post and places him under lock and key.
This is a waste of my time, Do-Right. Each night you lock me up, and each morning I escape.
You shall not escape tonight, Whiplash.
Dudley's optimism was based on the fact that he had set up an elaborate alarm system completely encircling the cell. He made one slight error. He locked himself in the cell, not Whiplash.
Ta-ta, Do-Right.
But on his way to the gate, Whiplash ran into trouble, for Dudley's horse, angered at finding water in the water trough, lashed out his great hooves in anger, striking a not too innocent passerby. 1 hour later, Inspector Fenwick, post commander, made a routine check of the jail.
Ah, Do-Right, still up, I see.
Yes, sir. I am keeping a vigil on Whiplash.
That's doing it the Mountie way, my boy. I must get him out of my slick-down hair once and for all.
Pen in hand, Whiplash outlined a daring plan.
Here is the post. Up here is my sawmill. If I can lure Do-Right to the mill, I can destroy him forever. But how to lure him?
Those evil eyes darted about the room until...
Tunnel with love. Horse. Egad, that's it.
This time he went in search of Dudley's horse. Once again he received a well-placed hoof, but he was prepared for it. And up he soared, out of the post.
Do-Right, I don't know how he did it, but Whiplash has escaped.
Are you sure, sir? I mean, have you looked in his cell?
You look, Do-Right.
By George, you're right, sir. He is missing. But never fear, I will bring him in again.
At that very moment, his valiant charger was gobbling up a trail of oats that led to Whiplash's sawmill.
Ah, here comes the horse. Step number 1 in my plan.
And what a plan it was. The horse walked right into the trap and was made prisoner.
And who will come after the horse?
Not Dudley. He was having trouble locating the stable.
Ah, Fernell. Have you seen the stable lately?
No, I haven't, Dudley, and I can't help you look for it. I have a luncheon engagement with your horse.
Oh? Say, after lunch, would you ask him to saddle up? I have a job to do.
Nell was on her way to the PX when she spied some familiar hoof prints.
Dudley's horse. I'd know them anywhere.
And off she went in hot pursuit.
Aha, step number 2. The fair and lovely Nell is approaching.
Nell, too, fell victim to Whiplash's terrible design.
And who will come after Nell?
Not Dudley. He was still searching for the stable.
Pardon me, Inspector, but I seem to have misplaced the stable.
No time to help you, Do-Right. I'm due to make a speech at luncheon.
With Nell and my horse?
Yes.
Inspector Fenwick scurried off. Then he, too, spotted the telltale tracks.
That horseshoe print with a broken nail, that's Nell's left foot.
By 3 in that afternoon, Whiplash had in his power Dudley's horse, Nell, the inspector, and most of the Mounties in the general area.
What's keeping that old Do-Right? He should have been here long ago.
In case you're wondering, Dudley had found the stable. He was now looking for a way to get out of it.
There must be a door somewhere.
There was. It opened, and in walked a messenger boy.
You Constable Do-Right.
I think so.
Dudley took the telegram and ripped it open.
Dear Dolt. Can't spell Dudley. Unless you come to my sawmill, I shall blow up Nell, the inspector, your fellow Mounties, and your horse. My horse!
He arrived at the sawmill in jigsaw time.
And you will let my horse go free if I surrender to you?
Everybody goes free.
The exchange was made. Inspector Fenwick, Nell, and the Mounties bid a tearful farewell and returned to the post. As for Dudley, he was tied to a chair infested with sticks of dynamite.
Do-Right, you'll never do right again.
A match was struck, the fuse was lit, and Whiplash dashed off over the horizon.
Daddy dear, don't keep looking out the window in the direction of the sawmill. It can't help.
I know it, Nell. It's only Do-Right we're losing, and yet... Well, there he goes.
Just then the door burst open and...
It is me! I, sir!
Dudley!
Do-Right!
I fooled him, Inspector. I made him think I blew up.
But how?
With this record. It has 33 1/3 long-playing explosions on it. He only heard an explosion.
But the sticks of dynamite.
Don't worry about that, sir. I have them here.
Do-Right! Come down here!
And now...
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! Ooh, don't know my own strength.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Well, Rocky's plans for Gidney and Cloyd to become the first Americans on the moon have hit a snag in the person of Senator Fussmusson of the Citizenship Committee.
Too many people are claiming to be Americans. Alaskans, Hawaiians, Californians. It's disgraceful.
Senator Axe to stop moon men!
We'll never get home again.
Nonsense! We're going to teach you to be Americans.
Yeah, time we get finished, you'll look as American as I do.
I'd really rather not.
Bring in our whole library of books, Bullwinkle.
Here they are, Rock. The Farmer's Almanac, the Bobbsey Twins at Camp Wahoo, and my personal bound volume of ghastly comics.
The boys set to work to convert the moon men, Gidney and Cloyd, into typical Americans. Unfortunately, their idea of what an American should know was rather limited.
Okay, Gidney. How many days in September?
30 days has September.
Right. Say you're getting as smart as me.
How do you make fire without matches?
Rub 2 Boy Scouts together?
No.
Oh, sticks. Rub 2 sticks?
That's it. Well, Bullwinkle, I guess they're ready to become Americans.
Yep. Sorta gets you right in here, don't it?
Yeah, I'm just quietly proud.
But the next day in Senator Fussmusson's committee room, the moon men didn't make out so well.
If the president doesn't sign a bill, how many days before it becomes a law?
30 days has September, April, June, and November.
Apart from congressional action, how may a bill be introduced?
By rubbing 2 sticks together?
What?
How are they doing, Bullwinkle?
Oh, they're getting the answers perfect, Rock.
Good.
Only thing is, he keeps asking the wrong questions.
Sure enough, the 2 moon men were quickly ejected from the committee room, but they didn't seem at all unhappy.
Well, we made it. We'll never be able to thank you enough, Rocky.
What do you mean?
You flunked your exam, didn't you?
Oh, more than that. Senator Fussmusson says we shouldn't even be allowed in the country.
Oh?
So guess what? He's deporting us, sending us back where we came from.
You mean the M-U-N-E moon?
That's right. And of course, there's only one way we can get there.
The mooseberry bush.
You're gonna go by bush? Sounds a little scratchy.
No, Bullwinkle. We'll use the mooseberry bush to make your secret rocket fuel.
Oh, of course. It's been so long I almost forgot the plot. Well, let's go.
And within a few days, Bullwinkle had whipped up an exact duplicate of his Grandma Moose's fudge cake batter.
Just slip it in this blast chamber, Bullwinkle.
Right.
Of course, all official Washington turned out for the Moonmen's departure. Senator Fussmusson himself bade them goodbye.
Goodbye. Now close the hatch and blast off.
Right.
But when Bullwinkle slammed the hatch closed, he caught the tail of Senator Fussmusson's coat.
10, 9, 8.
What's this? My coat is caught.
6, 5, 4.
Well, take your coat off.
That wouldn't be dignified.
I got it.
3, 2.
Quickly, Rocky zoomed to the president's chair and whispered in his ear.
1, 0. Fire.
Somebody do something.
Very well. Senator Fussmusson, I appoint you the new ambassador to the moon.
And as the crowd cheered, the spaceship bearing Gidney Cloyd and our first interplanetary diplomat zoomed upward and out of sight.
Well, Bullwinkle, you did it again.
Yeah, once the hero, always a hero, I guess.
You said it, Bullwinkle.
Didn't I, though?
And the boys trudged away from the airport and into a brand new adventure. Don't miss the beginning of it in the next chapter of Rocky, the Flying Squirrel.
Once again, here's Bullwinkle's Corner.
Hello. Today's poem is The Village Blacksmith by Longfellow. Under a spreading chestnut tree, the village smithy stands. The muscles of his mighty arms are strong as rubber bands.
Iron bands.
Looky.
Rubber bands. Anyway, I want some shoes for my horse.
Certainly. Something in an Oxford?
Oxford?
How about some tennis shoes? Fine for badminton.
My horse doesn't play badminton.
How dull. Well, how about this dress horseshoe with matching spats?
Just a plain horseshoe, Mr. Smith.
Well, if you insist. Where'd it go? Under a spreading chestnut tree, the village Jonesy stands.
You mean Smithy.
I mean Jonesy. I just sold the place.